Peter, are online estate agents poor at sales chasing? Talk to me.
In our experience, there's certainly a lot of scope for improvement in that area.
Okay. And what can high street agents do to mitigate the issues?
I
And
think,
should they?
well, I don't think they've got a choice. And that is the challenge. And I have a lot of sympathy with agents who are having to run deals that are not their own. The reality is, and this is we get this day in day out from agents, is if they didn't progress them, then the deals wouldn't go through. I think it's a fact of life, and we can sit here and complain about it and be critical about one model and another model. I think certainly consumers will vote with their feet in time to come, and when deals don't go through or news seems to percolate up and down the chain, people know who are the good lawyers, they know who are the bad lawyers, they know who are the good agents, they know the bad agents. And I think people are aware that when you've got agents in the chain that are not doing progression, they know about it.
What advice would you give to estate agents? Is there things they could do with the vendor or the purchaser in the chain to chivvy the online agent up? Should they be doing it? You know, where basically an estate agent basically says to the vendor of the online agent, I was nearly the same name of the firm, look, your firm is not particularly very good at conveyancing chasing. Keep on their toes.
I think the problem that you've got, certainly with certain business models where you're paying up front, is with all the best will in the world, and we've seen this with some of our clients recently, where they have paid up front for a particular agent who sadly is no longer with us. They've said, well, I've paid my money now and I can't get hold of them. So I don't think there's an awful lot of leverage, and I don't know how much gain that an agent would get from saying, oh, these guys are not performing that well.
Do you think a solicitor will take more reference from an agent or their client in terms of chasing? Because you could always get the vendor.
Well, we do. Well, it's interesting. One of our most difficult deals, one of the more difficult deals that we have is when there's no agent, when there's a private sale. And that's really, really challenging. And people say, I'd be very straightforward because there's no annoying agent in the middle of it. Agents can make a good contribution because they know how to chivvy along their clients. Now, certainly, a lawyer will always defer to a client, whether agents like it or not. They will always. Why? Because we're accountable to them. And what we would do, if we've got a stuck, for example, if we've got a stuck chain and we're selling, we would always go to the agent and say, could you get your buyer to chivvy their lawyer along? And that is always, without exception, always more effective than us saying, sometimes clients say to us, oh, could you push the other lawyers? It's like, we have no leverage at all.
So do it that way around.
Do it the other way around. We would always go to, that's why we deal very closely with our agents, because we're having people complaining at us that we're not driving sales deals through quickly enough. And we have to explain to clients, like, it's all in the hands of the buyer. And that's where the agent needs to get their buyer to chivvy their lawyer along.
It's a top tip for estate agents there.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Peter. Cheers.